First thing I'm going to say, just to remind you, the Odyssey is turned in online only. It's turned in just through turnitin.com. I do not need a hard copy. I do not need to see your receipt. And there are already some that have been turned in, and I just haven't gotten to them yet. The second thing I want to do is, if you haven't written the Odyssey yet, I'm going to give you the fallback instructions. Odyssey fallback instructions. That is, if you're having trouble with the complete instructions that I give online, here's a simplified Odyssey instruction. Right. One. Pick a topic. Think about how you would write an essay about, an essay explaining and supporting a thesis on that topic. Okay, so the first thing you do is you pick a topic. Then you think about how you would write an essay about that topic. Right. This is, presumably you've all had college classes, or at least high school classes before, where you wrote essays defending supporting theses. You have a thesis, you say something about a topic, and then you say other stuff to try to support that. Say other stuff about that. Right. So you think about how you would do it. Then you read my stuff, or at least you skim over it, right?
The ones that you wrote yourself, like here and stuff?
The stuff I wrote, odyssey.htm. If something in there is helpful to you, that is, you come across something that you read and it says, don't do this, and you go, oh good, I'm glad you told me not to do that. I might have done that, and now I know not to do it. That makes this easier. So it's stuff that's helpful, stuff that's clear, you understand it, and it helps you. And it helps you in knowing how to write the paper. So basically, you have kind of a plan to write the paper, what your intentions are, what you think you're going to do, and then you come across something in what I've written about this that's a do or a don't. Do this, and you read it and you say, okay, now I know what to do. I'll do that. I was going to do something else, but now I'll do this because I understand it, and it's helpful, and it doesn't. Right? If something there is helpful, use it. if you come across something in my instructions that you don't understand, the fallback instructions say you can ignore it. So if my instructions are not working for you, use whatever's useful in it, but ignore the rest. Or if something says, you come across something I tell you to do, and you say, I can't do that. All right? Then, at least for the first Odyssey stage, don't do that. You don't have to do that. Well, unless it's something that says, don't use a dictionary definition. Right? I have to use a dictionary definition. It's impossible for me to refrain from that. No, you still have to not do that. If that makes sense. So, or if I say you've got to think about it. No, I can't think about it. Yes, you can. You have to. You've got to. Right. Paper being as clear, complete, precise, and detailed.
All those things.
Yeah. As you So, if you have a choice between two ways of saying something, and one of them requires someone to have a PhD to understand you, and the other only requires a high school education, use the one that only requires a high school education. Unclear writing is bad writing. People who deliberately write unclearly are not good writers. They are terrible writers. They're in fact torturing their readers. And I have somewhat, and hopefully none of you have ever been told by a teacher to make your writing bad, to make your writing unclear, because that's just awful. And I have to deal with a lot of unclear writing in my job, and it is just miserable. To read unclear writing is a miserable experience. Complete, like, don't leave anything out. If it's relevant, include it. And this includes any kind of thought you might have, or comment, or stuff, or you can say, well, an admission of not understanding. Don't put in questions. I don't like that. But if there's something you don't understand, you write, I don't know what this is. I don't understand this thing. Precise. Right? If something is 3.142, don't say it's 3. Okay, and add clarifying details. Right? Be as detailed as you can. Leave in everything. Put in everything you can, as much as you can. Does that make sense? Does this sort of at least make sense as a set of instructions? Because the one thing that's a problem is getting people started on writing. To get that first Odyssey stage in. Once you've got that first stage in, you've got it graded, you've got comments in, you've got a much better basis for knowing how to go on with the writing assignment. And you know what's acceptable and what's not. Because a lot of people have trouble with the instructions. I make them as clear and complete, as detailed as I can. But the trouble is, so many people ask so many different questions, the instructions are very long. Right? With lots and lots of details there. And some people, yes,
I
question?
just want to make sure that this is the quote topic list to me.
Yeah, it's introodyssey.htm.
Topics for intro to stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it's topics like what is truth and what's beauty and
Well,
is Palmer right about this, what's free will.
human ulti-human,
Yeah,
there ain't no justice.
yes, that stuff, right. Those kinds of topics. But anyway, this is the fallback
The
instruction.
nature of mind.
And, yeah, any questions about how to do this? All right, okay, so that's my